Hello, everyone. Welcome to Achieve Atlanta's College Night with Savannah State University. We see some participants are starting to roll in, so we will start in approximately 2 to 3 minutes to let our other peers join the webinar. So please hold here before we begin. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Achieve Atlanta Savannah State University College Night. My name is Bria Price, and I'm the Program Manager of College Success at Achieve Atlanta, and would like to welcome you all to this webinar. Before we begin, we do have some tips for using Zoom. The first tip is please use the Q&A box and submit any questions below for our Savannah State team. Please use the chat box when asked to join the conversation. And that is at the bottom, you'll see chat as well as Q&A. And if you need to escape the full screen or make your screen smaller or larger, please use the expand or full screen mode, very similar to the icon here. Now I would like to pass it on to Mr. Brian Dawsey, Director of Admissions at Savannah State University.
Thank you, Bria, and I appreciate that. I want to start off by saying good evening to all of our Achieve Atlanta Scholar students. Before we begin, I want to take this opportunity to first say we congratulate you on making this step or achieving this step in this major milestone in your life. I know that this has been a tasking senior year and it has been a hard one. You had an opportunity or had the opportunity to witness and experience something that has been unprecedented in our lifetime, definitely. But to have the opportunity to be able to be persistent, to be steadfast, to continue to keep your eye on the goal, and to cross that finish line, and to have graduated from high school is something to be commended, and something that I hope that you understand as far as how important this is in making that milestone. I know your parents and your family is proud of you, and we here at Savannah State are proud of you as well. There's a couple other individuals that are on this call with me, a couple of my colleagues. You see their pictures there with the addition of one more that I will introduce. Next to my picture there, I'm Brian Dawsey, the Director of Admissions. We have also Ms. Danita Townsend, who serves as our Executive Director for the Center of Student Success. And what that department does, they're going to be responsible for your advising and your registering for classes. So as you matriculate through Savannah State as a Tiger, the individuals that are in that office with her are going to ensure that you're taking the correct classes and to answer any questions that you may have about the advisement and registration period, as well as there's some other services that that office gives to you as well. One that I'm thinking of in particular is advising. So advising and any type of academic help or support that is done through the Center of Student Success. So I know Danita is not with us now. I know she said she has some time she'll possibly jump on. Next to her picture, we have Mr. Chris Corinthian, who is our mentoring director here on campus. He works with us in this Achieve Atlanta team and making sure that there are programs and seminars that will help you in that matriculation to Savannah State. So he'll be chiming in on this conversation as well. So definitely this is another person that you will want to definitely get to know. The young lady, that picture that's next to his is Miss Essie Snowden. She serves as the Assistant Director in the Center of Student Success. So she works along with Ms. Townsend again in regards to the advisement, the registration, as well as the tutoring and other mentoring pieces. And then there's one more person that is on the call today, who is Dr. Carolyn Jordan. And I'm so glad that she's on this call today, because as we go into this PowerPoint and talk a little bit more about this institution that we call Savannah State University, there is a particular individual who has been pretty much a foundation to this institution being started. And we'll tell you how she is related to that individual. So as we go to the next slide, the information on the next slide is going to talk a little bit about, the agenda. So we're going to look at the agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about the institution from an organizational snapshot. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what to expect next with regards to your post-secondary requirements, some timelines, and some key dates for you to remember. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the campus support and resources, and you see some of those there. And we'll do a little closeout, which we will reinforce the whole idea of the ATL, and also have some Q&A. And as Ms. Bria said, as we go through this PowerPoint, if there is any questions that you may have, please feel free to ask. As I always tell folks, there's no such thing as a crazy question or a dumb question. When you don't know, you don't know. And part of this reason for us having this college night is to make sure you do know all the information you need to have as it relates to Savannah State. So as we transition to the next slide, we're talking a little bit about kind of one of these affirmations, and you'll see some of these quotes and affirmations as we go through the PowerPoint. And this one says that when everything is uncertain, everything that is important becomes clear. And it is, and that's a true and living statement. As I look at that, I quite often goes back to the freshman year experience class that I've had the opportunity to teach a couple of years here at Savannah State. And as I talk to those freshman students about this whole college process and what the expectations are and what the exposure to having that post-secondary education would do to you, not only financially in regards to looking for jobs, but what it would do to you socially, what it would do to you intellectually in regards to challenge you and to have you to grow and think outside of the box. And one of the things that I tell students is that in this process of thinking, there are some things that you may be challenged. There'll be some things that you may have known or thought to be true, but through this post-secondary educational process, it would challenge and it would question that. So it's going to be some times where some things may seem uncertain, but as you continue to push forward and understand what the goal is, then definitely you will understand why it would definitely become clear at the end. As we go to the next slide, we have information as it relates to Savannah State, just to kind of give you an organizational profile. Savannah State University was established on November 26, 1890. We have the distinction of being the oldest public, historically Black institution in the state of Georgia, as well as we are the oldest institution of public education in the city of Savannah. The institution was actually established in Athens, Georgia, and was an extension of the University of Georgia. The initial name of the institution was the Georgia State Industrial College for Colored Youth. There is over 30 degree programs that we offer, both undergrad and some on the master's side. And those degree programs are housed in 4 academic units. We have the College of Business Administration, more affectionately known as COBA. We have the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, which we affectionately known as CLASS. We have the College of Science and Technology, which is known as COST. And also we have the College of Education, which we call CO. And the College of Education is one of the newest additions to the institution. But in that slide presentation that you see right now, it gives a kind of collage of some of the buildings and the campus life that we have here on campus. We do have just about over 70 different organizations that a student can be a part of. You see the Greek letter organizations that we have there. We have all of what we consider the Divine Nine here on campus. And if Greek life is not your thing or your cup of tea, we also have some academic focused organizations. We have some social organizations. We have some sport related organizations. And even if you come to the institution and see that there is not an organization that may not be a fit for you, we can walk you through the process of getting that organization started. At the bottom left, you see 2 buildings there. The one that's on the far right is Hill Hall. That is the oldest building that we have here on campus. That building was constructed in 1901 by students and by staff folks, and it has served a variety of purposes over the years. And the building that you see next to it is housing. We are a majority residential campus, so we do have campus options for those students who definitely want to live on campus. And then on the far right hand side, those 2 pictures that you see, the picture that you see up top is our first president, which is Major Richard R. Wright. And as I was saying before, we was talking about or introducing Dr. Carolyn Jordan. Dr. Carolyn Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, is the great-great-granddaughter of our founding president. So it's not too many places that you can be able to go to and see an actual descendant of the first president of the institution. And she has been a jewel on our campus in regards to our mentoring program and helping with our students and continue to keep the legacy that her great-great-grandfather had started close to 130 years ago active on our institution. And then the picture that you see down at the bottom is our current president, our interim president, Ms. Kimberly Ballard Washington. She's another individual who has a love and an affinity for students. She's always walking around campus, and she's a person that you can easily walk up to and have a conversation with. So definitely, if you're on the campus or get an opportunity to come and visit the campus prior to classes starting, pending everything, it clears up with the COVID-19, definitely get a chance to view the campus and definitely get a chance to meet some of these individuals out here on campus. If we go to our next slide, the information that is there is talked about the Achieve Atlanta commitment. This is something that you should already be familiar with, and if you're not, you will be before you get started on this program. And then I'm gonna invite some of my other colleagues in as we kind of have this conversation kind of centered around this commitment. So you can see that the commitment is not only your binding agreement to Achieve Atlanta in regards to you doing what is necessary in order for you to stay active and current with the scholarship that you're going to receive, but how that commitment spills over onto the campus, and to make sure that you are committed to this educational process here at Savannah State University. So the first box that you see, and that's on your far left, it starts off saying, I will maintain full-time enrollment at an eligible Achieve Atlanta post-secondary institution. And then I'll probably will bring in Ms. Snowden, who is our assistant director for the Center of Academic Success. Ms. Snowden, can you kind of just talk with them a little bit on why it is important that they maintain full-time enrollment here at Savannah State University?
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Even though I can't see you, but I'm glad that you're able to be with us tonight. It is very important to maintain your enrollment here at Savannah State University, because obviously your goal is to graduate. That is the ultimate goal. As Mr. Dawsey reads through the rest of the commitment that you will make as being a part of Achieve Atlanta and as coming to Savannah State University, full-time enrollment is important. Full-time enrollment obviously would mean 12 credit hours, but with our Momentum Year initiative, and in order to keep students on track for graduation, we do encourage that students take at least 15 credit hours in the semester, if not more. Students who are in good academic standing can take up to 18 credits, but 15 credits is what's suggested. And if you take 15 credits starting out in the fall semester, then take it, 15 credits or more in the spring. And if you desire to attend summer school, all those things keep you on track for graduation, and it keeps you on track for attaining your degree.
Thank you, ma'am. The next box that you see next to it, which is the oval, it said, I will complete all Achieve Atlanta scholarship update and renewal applications, including submitting required documents and completing Achieve Atlanta survey. So that is self-explanatory. Part of this commitment is that there is a requirement that you do an update as renewal application, and in that renewal application, you will be shared as to what documents that you would need to submit. So it's incumbent upon you that when it's time for you to do the renewal, that you follow the directions as it relates to renewal and have those necessary documents in order to make sure you can keep with the scholarship. The next one is, I will meet the satisfactory academic progress requirement at my institution. I'm gonna pull in Mr. Corinthian here on that, because I know he's our mentoring director, but prior to him working in our mentoring office, he actually worked in the Office of Financial Aid. So Mr. Corinthian, can you please share with the students as far as the importance of maintaining that SAP, or satisfactory academic progress?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Dawsey. Now, what you want to do is you want to keep on track of the grades that you have. First, I want to say congratulations as well, because what your graduating class has done, no one has ever done before. You all are unique, and you've overcome so many challenges. It's already a challenge for many of you to just graduate high school. But then with the pandemic that's hit, with learning virtually and ending your semester off the way you did, that's something that a lot of people could not do. So you have what it takes to succeed, and we definitely congratulate you on that. Now, when you're coming into college, of course, just like in high school, you start off with 100%. You start off with a 4.0. So what you want to do is maintain that, because what happens is over time, on two things, especially on the financial aid side, is if you keep taking classes over and over again, financial aid will not continue to just let you pay for those classes. You have a limited amount of time. So in order not just to keep your Achieve Atlanta scholarship, but to maintain your financial aid, you have to stay in what we call satisfactory academic progress. So you don't have to do the SAP appeal. The SAP appeal is where, worst case scenario, if something happens to where your grades did drop, then you'd have to go through a process where you submit things to a committee, they look over it, and they have to see if it's justifiable for you to get your financial aid reinstated. So it's very important, like Mr. Dawsey was saying, to stay on top of your academic status as well as your financial aid status. Also, you have resources. You have Ms. Snowden, you have Mr. Dawsey, you have people all around. You have myself, and you have Dr. Carolyn Jordan as well, who's in the mentoring office. You have resources and people you can lean on if you ever have any trouble with anything. So for example, if you were to go to the financial aid office or try to get in touch with somebody in financial aid and you had some general questions or even some challenging questions and you're not getting through, call on one of us, because a lot of times we may know the answer or we'll put you in contact with somebody that does have the answer, okay? A lot of times students will end up just giving up before they lean on their resources. So use us as advocates, use us as resources, and we'll make sure that we'll continue to push you and get you what you need to succeed.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Then if we go down to the middle, it said, I will complete a post-secondary degree or credential. And what I want to do is bring in Dr. Jordan in on this one. And Dr. Jordan, can you please just talk with the students a little bit about the importance of having that post-secondary degree and credential, and why is that important for them in the long run? Oh, Dr. Jordan, you're on mute.
Good evening, everyone. I echo the sentiments of my colleagues with congratulations. You truly have achieved already some benchmarks. As you're looking at the slide, it's all of the things that you will need to do to complete the Achieve Atlanta commitment. You need to know that, first of all, I'm really excited that you are going to be matriculating at Savannah State University. As Mr. Dawson shared with you, the founding president was my great-grandfather, not great-great, but my great-grandfather. And because of his commitment he was born a slave and then ended up being a college president. And because of his commitment, we're here tonight. What does that mean? That means that as a little boy, he was born a slave, and at the first 12 years of his life, he was a slave. His first encounter with education was in a boxcar school where the person that Howard University is now named for, General O.O. Howard, came to this school, talked to students, asked the students what message did they want to send. So the story is that Richard Robert Wright, the founder of Savannah State University, raised his hand and said, tell them we're rising. That has become a mantra of the university. And what does that mean? Once you are part of our university family, once you're part of the Tiger family, the expectation is for you to do just what the founding president did and continue to rise. So you've already completed one benchmark. You've completed high school, matriculate into a 4-year program, take those 15 credits every semester, stay on track, earn your bachelor's degree. And even while you're doing that, I like to say you always begin with the end in mind. The end for you will not necessarily be a bachelor's degree, but already you can start looking ahead, see what postgraduate degrees, what research is available for you. In other words, everything, sky's the limit. Everything's available to you. Begin with the end in mind, stay committed. We believe in you. We expect for you to excel, and we know you're going to achieve. Again, congratulations, and thank you for allowing me to speak tonight.
No problem, Dr. Jordan. The next bubble next to that one said, I will meet regularly with my designated college advisors, which include those assigned by my college and or Achieve Atlanta. Young people, this is going to be imperative, and I definitely will ask both Mr. Corinthian and even Ms. Snowden if they want to chime in on that. It's going to be imperative and important that you meet with your assigned advisor. You meet with them every semester, and not even every semester. You might just want to check in with them in between semesters as well. If there's any issues that you're having with your classes, if there's some material that you consider that's a little bit challenging and you need some help, these are going to be the individuals that are going to be on that quote unquote front line to ensure that you're getting the resources and getting the support that you would need. These individuals are there. They are there to help you matriculate and to get you through that program in 4 years. So it's very, very, very important that you meet with these individuals on a regular basis and make sure that you establish a rapport with them and again, utilize that service. Again, Mr. Corinthian, Ms. Snowden, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yes, Mr. Dawsey. For us in the Center for Student Success and Retention, particularly with our freshman population, we like to have bi-weekly meetings with our students, and I'll later kind of go over some things and talk a little bit more about that. But with our freshman population, because you're just coming in, you're new to everything, you're kind of unsure, not really knowing how things work, or maybe you just have a lot of questions that are just, unanswered. We do encourage our students, our freshman population, to have bi-weekly meetings, at least in that first semester, with their assigned advisor. And there are a few things that are discussed in that meeting, but mainly to help get you comfortable, help get you acclimated to the campus, and again, making sure that you are taking at least 15 credits and making sure that you are on track for graduation.
I appreciate that, Ms. Snowden. Mr. Corinthian.
Yes. So what you want to do is keep in mind that when we have our week of welcome, which we call our WOW week, we're going to actually be able to get you plugged in. We'll have not just one, but possibly 2 mentors for you in the mentoring department. So not just will you meet each other, but we'll link you up with a peer mentor who is a honor student, senior level student who has gone through the process that you're going through. And they can speak to you probably in a more familiar way that you're better to understand about what college life is really like. And I know they have mentors on the academic side as well. And then some of you may also have a faculty or a staff mentor that you'd like to be linked up with, just so you can be held accountable and they can kind of help push you through when times do get tough. So what we'll do is we'll have that available to you during the week of welcome, get you plugged into our GroupMe app, GroupMe chat, so that anything that's happening Achieve Atlanta related, it'll go right through there, as well as email and other communication. But we've seen that's been really effective with GroupMe, which many of you probably already use. And we'll definitely want to introduce you to different programming that we'll have in the future. But as far as on that accountability side, we'll definitely link you up with some peer mentors, et cetera.
All right. And then you see next to that I will meet any additional requirements established by my post-secondary institution. There are going to be some additional requirements outside of your original Achieve Atlanta contract that we at the institution is going to impose. So when we have that, we're going to have a follow-up meeting. We'll talk a little bit about that in some slides a little bit further down. You'll understand what that expectation is of the institution and the steps in regards to that. Then we'll round it out that you will complete the FAFSA every year. And it's very important, young people, that you do this every year with the FAFSA, is you complete it every year. The financial aid window goes from August to August. So for example, as you're coming in this fall semester, your financial aid that you have completed will go from August of 2020 to August of 2021. So it's going to be imperative that you fill out the FAFSA if you're going to continue on with us for August 2021 to August 2022. And you have that opportunity to do that FAFSA as early as October. So as soon as you start here in the fall semester and October 1st happens, then you can go out there and jump on that FAFSA website and get that information done and completed. And again, that's something that you would need to do every year. And then I will update student contact information with Achieve Atlanta as necessary and or requested. And it's going to be imperative that you do that so the individuals at Achieve Atlanta can keep in contact with you, as well as so that way we can keep in contact with you as well. So to go to the next slide, information that you see there is in regards to a timeline. And these are some events that will be happening within the next couple of months that we want you to be aware of and to keep in mind. So as we in May, and I'll finishing out the May, two things that we want you to think of. One, financial aid. The financial aid should have already been completed. But I do know there are some students who haven't had an opportunity to start that financial aid process and get that done. So I would strongly encourage you that by the end of this month, that you get that FAFSA application in as soon as possible. As we go into the summer months, that is considered crunch time and kind of hectic season, just to say it lightly, for the financial aid office, because everybody is getting information in, or there is communication that's been sent to students in regards to additional documentation or some additional paperwork in order to make that application complete. So the earlier you can get that in, the better. In addition to the financial aid, you want to make sure that you get your immunization records into the institution as well. Right now, we do plan for students to return back to campus in August. So as a state requirement or as a Board of Regents requirements, all students that will be taking classes physically on campus has to have a copy of the immunization records in. So if you already submitted it, very good. If not, you can get a copy of that form, or if you get a copy of your records from your physician or doctor's office, you can email that to immunizations with an S at Savannah State University to get that satisfied. As we progress into the month of June, two things that we want you to keep in mind: final high school transcripts. Again, we congratulated you on making it to this point in your academic career and academic future. But I do know that sometimes that some high schools will have those final grades come out sometime in June. So you want to just make sure with your counselor when final grades will be calculated and when your final high school transcript will be ready to be sent out. And what we mean by final high school transcript, in addition to having all of your classes on the transcript, we need to see a graduation date. And that graduation date is what's going to be indicative of this being your final high school transcript, because that tells us you have graduated. So make sure that you get that final high school transcript into us with that graduation date. And then at the bottom, you see the new Tiger enrollment sessions. For those of you who have already been accepted to the university, you should have already received an email from Admission Events that talks about our 3 Tiger enrollment sessions that will be in June. Those sessions will be online. So there will be some information that will be coming from our office to kind of walk you through that process and give you some information on what to expect for that new Tiger enrollment session. But it's very imperative and important that every brand new Tiger that will be attending Savannah State University in August, that you sign up for that new Tiger enrollment session. In addition to signing up for the new Tiger enrollment session, there'll be some information that our office will send on behalf of the Center of Student Success. And that information that will be sent to you will be that of a survey that kind of asks them questions about yourself in regards to your study habits. Are you a day person, a night person? And that questionnaire is going to be helpful and useful when you attend that session and you meet with your advisor one-on-one, and as your classes are being planned, that information that you put on that survey is going to be imperative in the kind of determining how that class schedule will be put together and how it was shaped. So again, once you have applied, registered for one of the Tiger enrollment sessions, make sure to be on the lookout for that email from Admission Events as it relates to that survey, and make sure that you fill out that survey and turn that back in. As we go into the month of July, that's when housing assignments will be given. From what I understand, July 1st will be the date that the room assignments will be given. So you will be expecting an email from Mr. Michael Sharp, who is our Assistant Director for Housing, with that information in regards to your room assignment, and also is going to have some information as relates to the rules and regulations as it relates to housing, what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot bring. So definitely be on the lookout for that in July, and make sure you follow that accordingly. And then stay in touch with your academic advisor. When you attend the New Tiger enrollment session, you will be paired with an academic advisor. You'll have his or her name, contact information. So it's imperative that you stay in touch with them. So after that session and that schedule is created, if you decide that you want to add a class or you want to take away a class, that would be the opportunity that you can stay with your academic advisor, to stay in touch with the academic advisor before we start classes in August. And then lastly, in August, a couple of things we want you to keep in mind. Our move-in, you'll get that information from Mr. Sharp as to when you will be allowed to move in. You also will receive some information from our Student Life Student Activities Office, which is headed by Mr. Desmond Stowe in reference to Welcome Week. Mr. Corinthian had made mention of it earlier. Welcome Week would be a series of activities that we have for our brand new Tigers that will, in so many cases, orient you to the campus. So we'll talk about campus expectations, it'll talk about your academic expectations, it will talk about social expectations, as well as there'll be some opportunities for you to meet and greet and get to know the freshman class that you're coming in with. And then lastly, there's a series of Tiger Academy workshops, and these are workshops that are hosted by the Center of Student Success. That information will be shared with you via email, as well as we have a group me for our Achieve Atlanta students. It's imperative and it's important that whatever topic that you see with that Tiger Academy workshop, that you go there and you participate in that. These activities and these workshops are planned to help you in your success and your matriculation through the institution. So I would strongly encourage and would definitely push for you to attend those Tiger Academy workshops when available. The next slide that we have kind of talks a little bit about some dates for you to remember. The first date is June 4th at 6 p.m. Again, June 4th at 6 p.m. That's going to be our Achieve Atlanta Zoom meeting. And with the Achieve Atlanta Zoom meeting, it would be in a format just like this, but it would be all of the various different campus partners. So it'll be myself, Mr. Corinthian, Dr. Jordan, Ms. Snowden, as well as some other individuals from the campus that will be there to kind of talk with you in regards to expectations, answer any questions that you may have at that time, and just for you to get an opportunity to meet those individuals that are going to be a part of your Tiger family. That includes our ambassador. We have an Achieve Atlanta ambassador, which is a student that is assigned to you all to kind of help you through this process as well. So you'll have an opportunity to meet with those folks. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that June 4th is on a Thursday. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, but it's going to be at 6 p.m. So there's an opportunity for you and your parents, if they want to jump on the Zoom call as well as and ask any questions as relate to the institution. We'll be there to kind of have that conversation with you. Our intent is to at least have it to an hour. If it has to go over, we'll try to make concessions there, but we want to keep it down to an hour because we want to be just respectful of your time. The next set of information that you see is our Tiger enrollment sessions. Those are the sessions I was telling you about. Those are going to be held on the June 12th, June 19th, and June 26th. Those new Tiger enrollment sessions will be done online. They will not be done face-to-face. They will be done online. And what the new Tiger enrollment session will do is will help you kind of solidify the business side of your enrollment. So you have an opportunity to have some live interaction with some folks from financial aid. You'll have some interaction with folks from the Center of Student Success. You'll get some questions, some Q&A in regards to the various different services that we have here on campus. And then by the end of that session, you should be assigned an advisor and should have a class schedule. And if you don't have a class schedule on that day, then you have the advisor's information, so he or she can be able to get that class schedule for you before classes start. So again, you should have already received an email from Admission Events if you're already accepted to the institution. So just follow the links to register for that new Tiger enrollment session, as well as I mentioned before, fill out the survey that you would get that has those questions in regards to your learning style, your study style, classes, and all of that. So that will help aid in regards to putting your schedule together. And then August 17th is the first day of fall classes. So again, Those are the key dates to remember. You will be inundated with other dates and other important information throughout the summer semester. It's very important that you check your email. And in checking your email, you want to check both your inbox as well. You want to check your junk box, your spam box, because sometimes when we send those emails, it goes to your spam or your junk box. And sometimes students don't look at it. So they'll say, we haven't received the email. And then when we tell you, okay, did you check both your inbox and your junk box? Then when they go check the junk box, oh, there was an email there. So just make sure that you check both your inbox and you check your junk and spam box. Now, you will get a Savannah State email once you are a student here at Savannah State. And it's going to be equally important that you check your Savannah State email too, because all official communication from the institution will be sent to your Savannah State email. I'm going to repeat that again. All important information and communication that will come from the institution will be sent to your Savannah State email. So it's very imperative, important, young people, that if you're not in the habit of checking your email, to make sure you check it, because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity or announcement that may pertain to you. And as we go to the next slide, information that we have on the next slide is talking about some campus support and some resources. We're going to talk a little bit about some financial supports that we have here, some academic support, some advisement support, as well as some transition support that we have, in addition to the scholar support that you have in regards to Achieve Atlanta. So as we pause right here for a minute, on the advisement side, Ms. Snowden, do you want to share with some of the, with the students, what are some supports that they can expect to have on the advisement side?
Yes, on the advisement side, I think the one thing that I do want to talk about is our current advisement model, and how that relates to the students and their success at Savannah State. Our new advisement model basically will assign the student to a professional advisor, as well as a faculty mentor, depending upon the major that they declare. So with this new model, students are allowed to be advised by a professional advisor in our department, which is the Center for Student Success and Retention. It also allows a student to have a faculty mentor assigned to them in their junior and senior years. The model offers the students to see all SSU's focus area offerings. And within the focus area, a student should be able to choose a major based on their career interest. Right now, our focus areas include social sciences, education, the STEM areas, business, and humanities, arts, and communications. And so within that, when you're first coming into Savannah State, you do definitely want to declare a major, but sometimes students can be a little fuzzy about what they really want to do. And that's when the focus areas come into play. But once you are assigned to an advisor, you can definitely have a more in-depth conversation about the focus area and where your interests lie. And your advisor from there will help you kind of map some things out so you can better make a better informed decision. Professional advisors, your professional advisor that is assigned to you is your academic support. They will help advise you through the core curriculum, help you with any degree prerequisites, and also help you to use the program map. They will monitor your progress in your classes and in your selected degree program, and will work with other departments on campus, such as perhaps the registrar's office, for your success. Faculty mentors, as I said, you will be assigned to one usually within your junior and senior years. And your faculty mentor will help you to understand the academics related to the program of study that you have chosen. They also can assist with providing guidance on internships and research opportunities if you have questions of that nature. And they work with the professional advisor on referrals for course advisement and registration. I mentioned the program map. The program map is basically a tool that is used, and you have to think about it as your roadmap, but your program map shows the sequencing of courses in which they should be taken. So for example, if you decide that you want to, declare biology as your major, so, maybe you want to be a a researcher, or, you know, maybe you want to, you know, later teach in higher education. Your program map for biology, as looked upon by those faculty, would tell you in your freshman year what classes you are supposed to be taking. Then when you have successfully completed your freshman year, then that program map will tell you what classes that you should be taking in your sophomore year, and so forth. It is definitely a good tool to have, because on this program map, you can outline, you know, your grade. So when you have passed all your classes, you can list your grades on that map, but it's a visual aid to help you see your progress towards your graduation. And again, you do want to take those 15 or more credits so you can graduate in 4 years. I mentioned earlier about student meetings, and as a freshman, having biweekly meetings. We recommend and encourage you to have those meetings with your professional advisor, mainly with the freshman population coming in. We do schedule those biweekly meetings with you. In these meetings, you receive, of course, your program map. You have a discussion with your advisor about the online resources that are available to you. So the student portal, navigating the SSU website. In our department, we use something called EAB Navigate. You get a conversation about that to find out how you can use that software. You have your advisor will talk to you about PAWS and about D2L. In your second meeting, you will sign an academic contract that is basically just between you and your advisor. And it's just a way for your advisor to have a way to contact you and to kind of help you stay on track for your success. And in that, you will talk about your classes. So, you know, paying attention to the class syllabus, and then talking about the expectations of the class and what you need to do in order to be successful.
I appreciate that. And as we're talking about transition, I want to bring in Mr. Corinthian and Dr. Jordan, if you all want to share from a mentoring standpoint, how them being participatory members in the mentoring program, how that can help them in their transitioning into college and higher education here at Savannah State University.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Dawsey. For starters, I did want to mention that when you come to Savannah State, even under the Division of Student Affairs, which the mentoring department is housed, you will be assigned to SOL, which is a student orientation leader. A student orientation leader, as well as a peer mentor from the mentoring department. So as Ms. Snowden just said, that you'll have a faculty advisor, and you'll have another academic peer advisor as well. So you'll have accountability and people that are surrounding you to make sure that you succeed. In our department, we have peer mentors that check on you. Sometimes it's a little more standoffish, or if it's a little more in your face, for lack of a better term, because sometimes students need that extra push, and then some students, they don't. So based on who you're linked up with as a peer mentor, they'll just check on you weekly, just to make sure that everything is good. If you have any questions, especially when you're transitioning from high school to college, because there's so many different things, so many different changes. Even with everything that's happening now around the world, so many things are different now. One of the things that we're doing with the mentoring department is, as a matter of fact, I'll post it in the chat so you can see it. But if you're on Instagram, you can follow our Instagram page at The Right Choice SSU. So it's The Right, WRIGHT, named after our founding president, The Right Choice SSU. So anytime we have programming, we'll also update it in the GroupMe chat as well as on the Instagram page. So even during the summer months, we'll probably have some programming that you can see even before you transition into the beginning of the semester. So we definitely want to make sure that you're prepared, that we have whatever you need to make sure that you succeed. So Dr. Jordan, I didn't know if you wanted to add on anything to what I was saying.
No, you covered it.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Anyways, go to the next slide. It has information on some campus supports that we have here, as you see on the financial side. Our bursar, and you hear that word, and that's one of the things that we'll do with you as you come to Savannah State, is to kind of get you acclimated to some of the lexicons and the lingos that we have here on campus. The bursar office is pretty much the individual who handles all financial transactions. So student accounts and bursar is pretty much one and the same. So our bursar on campus is Ms. Patrice Kerner. Financial aid, our contact for financial aid would be Mr. Sean Sims, and this email, the current email is there corresponding. Student accounts, Josie Shepard, who is assistant bursar, and their email is there, as well as if you're interested in work study. Mr. Sean Sims can get information in regards to work study and get you set and taken care of from there. If we come down to the next box, you have housing. Mr. Michael Sharp, so as I said before, he'll be the individual that you'll be receiving emails from in regards to the rooming assignment, as well as other aspects of housing and when to move in. Campus life with Mr. Desmond Stowe. He's a young man that will be responsible for your Welcome Week activities. So all the activities for Welcome Week, as well as some of the activities that will go on throughout the year. There's a group that's called the Campus Activities Board, more affectionately known as CAB, that is responsible for all of the student programming on campus. So if you're talking about programming, or as we talked about in the very early slides about being involved on campus with regard to student organizations and clubs, he's the individual that you will reach out to that can get you pointed in that direction. Then health services, Ms. Sunny Ogden, who is our nurse practitioner. She's over the health department. As you are a student at Savannah State, you do have a series of fees that you will pay. One is the health fee. And with the health fee, we have a fully functioning health services there. We have a part-time doctor, have a pharmacist, as well as some nurses that would be there to assist students with any sickness or any illness or ailments that they may have. There's some prescriptions that can be given to the students through the health center, as well as if there's any major medical issues that you have that requires for you to go to an actual hospital, where the institution is located and where it's settled. We're next about no less than maybe 5 or 10 minutes from 2 major hospitals in the area. So definitely health service, and then counseling services. And we want to share this with students. You know, sometimes being away from home can be a little bit daunting, as well as we have students who unfortunately have been plagued with various different mental challenges. And we always tell students, you know, mental challenges and mental issues is not a bad thing, and help is not a bad 4-letter word. So we have services that are for free on campus that students can be able to access and take use of if they need that in regards to counseling. And then on the next page is some other campus resources that we have in student advisement. Ms. Snowden, who was talking with you today, there's her contact information there, as well as tutoring. She can help assist you with that. And then at the bottom, campus support. So Mr. Corinthian, who was talking with you today, as well as Dr. Jordan, they are here to be able to assist you in campus support. And then I'm here to assist you. So even though I serve as director of admissions, and normally I'm the person that kind of gets you into the door, in addition to that, we will not only want to just get you into the door, but we want to help keep you here and help you in that transition and that matriculation to campus. So I always tell every student who I come into contact with is that if you're experiencing any issues or any problems on campus and you don't know where to go or don't know who you can go and talk to, I'm one individual that you can be able to come and talk to. And you let me know what the situation is, and we can sit down, we can work through it and see what we can be able to do to get a resolve to take care of that situation. So that's our contacts here. The next slide that comes in is one of our most famous slides as it relates to ATL. And it's ironic that it's ATL is in Atlanta, so it's something that should be easily you remember. Advocate for yourself. And it's very important that as you now make that transition into college, that you learn how to advocate for yourself, because you now will be in a place that is 4 hours away from your surroundings or where you consider your comfort zone. So you're going to be in a brand new place. So you definitely would need to learn how to connect, how to network with folks, and learn how to advocate yourself. Learn how to advocate yourself in your classes, and learn how to advocate for yourselves on campus. And we, as in those previous slides, all the individuals that in that advocation process, that if you need help in order to do that, then we can be able to help you with that process no matter what it is. So learn to advocate yourself. Make sure you touch base with your campus resources. There is statistical information that backs this up to let you know that the more connected that you are with a campus, the more likely you will matriculate and the more likely you will graduate. So it's very imperative, it's very important that you definitely touch base with every campus resource. Again, these campus resources are free. There's no charge to you. You're paying for this pretty much in fees. So please take use of those campus resources. If you know you have issues with the class, find out if there's tutorial available. If they have various different workshops that talks about various different aspects of the college experience, primarily on the academic side, attend those workshops. Because again, they all have been put together for your betterment and with you in mind to make sure that you're successful while you're here at Savannah State. And then lean into the experience. Is always tell students that is more to the academic paradigm than just the four walls of a classroom. So yes, you are here to get an education, and yes, as Dr. Jordan had alluded to earlier, we want you to get that post-secondary degree, and even want you to move forward to get a master's, even a doctorate degree. But while you're getting the education, lean into the experience. Get an opportunity to experience what it is to be a Savannah State student. Get into a club or organization, attend some of the events on campus, attend homecoming, because I can promise you, you will love that experience once you have been at a college homecoming, especially a HBCU homecoming. So lean into that experience of what it is to be a college student, because when you graduate, it's those experiences that you want to take with you that's going to help appreciate and have you to just love the experience and appreciate and love and support your institution. And then the next slide that we have here is a quote, and it's a powerful quote. You are capable of amazing things. I just want that to sink into you. You are capable of amazing things. And to remember that you just overcame something that is still amazing. As I said before in starting this pre-PowerPoint presentation, you all have came through a pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, but you came through getting your high school degree in a pandemic. All of the normal things that would normally be attributed to you being a senior in high school has been interrupted by this pandemic. You were forced to go from meeting your classes face to face to now going on a totally online environment. Some of you may have had to go into an online environment and not be in a place that would be conducive to that online environment, meaning you may not have the connection to the internet you may have wanted to. You may not have had the privacy that you needed in order to effectively study for your classes. But through all of that, you made it through and you got that education. So if you are able to go through this and get that high school diploma, the skies are the limit when you come here to this campus of Savannah State University. And we know the amazing things that you can be able to do here. So do know you are capable of amazing things, and we want you to remember that. And with every last person that have talked to you on this call today, as well as the other individuals that you will meet on the 4th of June, and even the individuals that you meet on this campus is going to have a vested interest in making sure that you are going to be successful. We're going to now become kind of that second family. So as you leave your maternal or paternal family, you're going to now come into your Savannah State family. So you're going to have an extension of different uncles and aunts and grandparents and all that will love on you when need to, will encourage you when need to, will discipline you when need to, but will push you to be a better version of yourself, because we all have this thought process in mind. We know that you are capable of doing amazing things, and we're going to push you to be that great and amazing person that we know that you will be. We thank you for this opportunity just to sit and listen to us here today. Again, I echo the sentiments of all my colleagues and to say how extremely proud we are of you, of making this and most important step in your life. And I want you to know this is important, because think about it. There's some individuals who may have started with you in 9th grade that didn't make it to this point. You did. So that is to be celebrated. That is to be commended. But after the end of all the celebrations and all of that, we want you to make sure that you get your mindset and get yourself ready and prepared for higher education. And we can't wait to have you come on this beautiful campus, a campus that we affectionately known as the University by the Sea, that we're close to now 130 years of providing excellent education to not only individuals that are in this city, in this state, in this country, and abroad. So now you're getting ready to be a part of those many Tigers who have went on and to excel in the areas of education, law, business, entertainment, pretty much you name it, we have done it. There is a slogan and a catchphrase and a tagline that we have here at Savannah State, and that is you can get anywhere from here. And we believe that you can get anywhere from here. So if there's any questions that you may have, if time is permitting, please put those questions in the Zoom chat webinar so we can answer those questions the best that we can, as well as we have your email addresses. So we will be emailing you the Zoom information as it relates to the Zoom meeting that we have on June 4th. So again, check your emails, both your inbox and your spam, because we'll send that information to you with the password and all, and we'll get ready to kind of welcome you into the institution. So if there's any questions, please ask. As I always said, there's no such thing as a crazy question, no such thing as a silly or dumb question, because we want to make sure that you know everything you need to know about this beautiful place that we call Savannah State University.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Dawsey, and all of the presenters this evening. I am accepting any questions, or I'm looking towards the chat to see if there's anything there. Let's see.
Oh, I know somebody got a question. Somebody have a question. I mean, like I said, there's no such thing as a crazy question or a dumb question. Ask away. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you.
Well, I don't see any questions right now, but does any presenter have anything to add that was not, or anything to highlight from the presentation for our scholars?
Yes, my colleagues. Yeah, if there's anything, please chime in. If there's anything that you'd like to say or anything that that I may have missed.
I just want to say I'm ready to enroll again, Dawsey. After that, I mean, you just motivated me. I mean, you just gave me that love again for the University by the Sea. But in all seriousness, students, you guys are getting ready to do something great. Just go online, just research different companies, organizations, and people that were born out of depressions or troublous times. You know, just because the world and wherever you may be, you might be going through some challenging situations, but sometimes with that pressure, diamonds are made. So you guys are about to do some great things, not just with this education, but this launching pad and this platform for how you're going to change the world. So don't look at anybody to the left or right, but just challenge yourself each day. If you're competing with yourself every single day, you can only become greater and greater. Don't compare yourself with the status quo or those around you. Compare yourself with the best and then challenge yourself to be better than the best. So you guys have the resources, you have the people in place here at Savannah State. And if there's anything that you all need, just ask and we'll make sure that we get it to you. If we don't know, we'll be quick to say, we don't know, but let me get you connected with somebody that does. Okay, so not just here at Savannah State, but you got your Achieve Atlanta team and family that are here to make sure that you succeed. Okay, so you have it right here at your fingertips.
Thank you, Mr. Corinthian. Dr. Jordan?
Yeah, about to say Dr. Jordan. Anything you like to add?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you're back on mute again, Dr. Jordan.
Am I good now?
Yes, you're good now.
Stop by any time. That we have an open door policy at our Right Choice Mentoring Department. So you don't wait till it's a crisis or a problem or a need, but we are available to you. We are one of the resources on campus. Our office is right on top of the bookstore. I'm not going to tell you the building name because it'll be hard to remember all of that, but you will find the bookstore. And we're right on top of the bookstore. We have an open door policy. We're available to you at all times, trying to help you make the right choices in everything you do while you matriculate at Savannah State. So good luck and looking forward to meeting you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Jordan.
thank you.
I do have one question, and maybe Ms. Snowden, you'll be able to answer this. How do I get out of my comfort zone? I have a problem with asking for help.
Ms. Snowden, you want to chime in on that one? Oh yeah, like I said,
Or
Chris
anyone
or Dr. Jordan.
Yeah, I was gonna say while she's getting ready to hop on, matter of fact, I was just typing the answer, but I'll go ahead and answer it because I was one of those people who was always afraid to just step on out there to do things that I've never done. And one thing that helped me was I would just try to do something different every single day, something that I haven't even done. Like even if it's just going up and talking to a stranger. And then I think one of the biggest fears that a lot of people have is fear of rejection. And once you can overcome that fear of rejection and knowing that, you know what, a lot of times people's response to you or how people take you has nothing to do with you. But a lot of times it has something to do with that individual. So don't ever take too many things personally. But just all you have to do is just remain positive, know from the place and energy that you're coming from, that you're giving out. And whatever that person takes, receives, or rejects, it's not on you. Okay? And then once you get over that, then you'll realize that, you know what? I can try to step outside my comfort zone a little by little. And then you look back a year from now, 5 years ago, you're going to be like, you know what? I used to be so shy. I couldn't even get in front of a small group to ask somebody something. And I was always the type where if I didn't know something, I'd ask. Now, a lot of people might snicker say, man, why they ask that? That was a stupid question. But you know what? Over time, guess who ended up being the smartest person in the room, right? Because I would ask those silly questions or those stupid questions because I didn't want to be ignorant. So a lot of times you want to gain that knowledge and gain that experience to step outside of that ignorance, right? You know, there's a scripture that says, my people perish for lack of what? You know what I mean? Lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. So once you start asking questions and stepping outside that comfort zone, then it'll empower yourself and then to have that better positive self-esteem where you can then help somebody else that was in your shoes at the time you were afraid to step outside your comfort zone. So that's one thing that helped me, become more confident in myself and confident as far as helping other people. Help other people. There's somebody that's probably looking up to you right now and trying to figure out, man, how come you're able to do those things that you do? And you might not think anything of it, but there's somebody that's a little lower than you or behind you that you can help mentor or motivate and empower. And as you do that, you'll see your knowledge, your confidence, your expertise become to get higher day by day. So hopefully that helps. That's what worked for me. And I know other people may be able to chime in and give their input as well.
And I want to be respectful of our time. We're at 8:11, so we are well over our time. And on that note, if you have any other questions, please let us know. They provided their emails in this webinar, but we will also post the recording of this webinar on the Achieve Atlanta website in the next few days. And if there's any questions about the scholarship or any additional information, please email info@achieveatlanta.org and we'll be sure to respond and make sure your question gets to the right person to answer that. To our facilitators, we wanted to say thank you for your time, your efforts, and motivating the students. I even feel motivated after this call to do bigger and better things. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Any other last quick parting words?
Just thank you for this opportunity, and we've enjoyed this partnership forever. And as long as you're doing what you're doing, we'll be here to support you 100% with Achieve Atlanta.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, good night.
Y'all take care. Good night.
All right. Good night.